Hi, I'm Blanche Johanna for those of you who haven't watched my vlogs before, and for everyone else, welcome back. Today I'm going to be focusing on making the switch to a natural deodorant. This is something that I really wanted to discuss with you because it is a journey that I have recently embarked on, and I really want to share the knowledge I have gained and the experience that have been having through making this switch. So for those of you that don't know, aluminium is the active ingredient in antiperspirant, and that is what actually causes us to stop sweating. So to create an image for you, aluminium is actually what plugs up our sweat glands and makes us stop sweating, and obviously that creates less sweat and less odor. So aluminium is known as a neurotoxin that has been linked to breast cancer and also neurological diseases, including Alzheimer's disease. The most concerning thing for me with all the reading and research I have been doing is that the long-term exposure and the risks from that long-term exposure, research is actually inconclusive as to what those long-term risks are for us. Now, for me, that is something that was increasingly alarming for me over time, and I started thinking I really need to start looking at alternatives and natural alternatives so that I'm not being exposed to aluminium and other toxins that long term could pose real serious risks to my health. So the product that I have chosen to start using was doTERRA's Balance Deodorant. So this is derived from essential oils, baking soda, and arrowroot. Now the essential oil that is used in this deodorant, as I mentioned, is Balance Essential Oil. So doTERRA Balance Essential Oil is an absolutely beautiful blend and it smells divine. So for me, putting this under my armpits is really a no-brainer. I pop this on as a perfume on many of my days. It really helps keep me grounded and balanced, as the name suggests. So the essential oils included in this essential oil blend are spruce, frankincense, blue tansy, blue chamomile, and osmanthus, to name a few. So the other amazing benefits about this deodorant is that it is aluminium and paraben free and also has no artificial fragrances. So many of you might be thinking, well, how do I make the switch? And this is something that I really want to discuss with you because I think so many people, when they make that switch, they don't really realize the process that it involves. It is definitely a process and it's not something that you can do overnight. For me personally, it's something I'm doing gradually to allow my body to adjust to this new product and obviously this new way of doing things when it comes to my sweat glands for my body. So basically, as I mentioned before, because aluminium, which is the active ingredient in most antiperspirants, really plugs up those sweat glands, you can come to start realizing and understand that once you start using a natural deodorant, all those toxins that have been really plugged in there to your sweat glands start to make their way out because we're no longer using a product that has aluminium as an active ingredient. So in the short term, for some people, this can cause more sweating and more odor to begin with when you start using a natural deodorant. This actually freaks a lot of people out, so they stop using it really, really quickly. You have to stick in there and you have to keep walking the journey and keep going through the process and through the ups and the downs because eventually it will get better. But as I said, it is a process. So don't be afraid if initially when you start using a natural deodorant, you find that you are sweating more and you may actually start to emit a worse odor than you did before. Something else that I've found really, really useful is actually using a clay mask under my armpits, which yes, might sound a bit strange, but doTERRA, which is the same brand as this beautiful deodorant here, they also produce a really beautiful face clay mask that I actually have been using under my arms to try and help my body to really draw those toxins out and to speed up that process. So that's something I've been doing a couple of times a week just to help my body along on this journey and this switch. So for me, I have actually started just slowly introducing that natural deodorant, and that's something that I really do suggest for a lot of people. Some people might just want to jump on in there and do it 100% from the get-go, which is absolutely fine. But for me, I've started using natural deodorant, let's hypothetically say every second day, and then I've increased it and I'll increase it again. So currently I'm using my natural deodorant every second day just to get my body used to that system and of, not having my sweat glands all plugged up with the aluminium. And then slowly over time, I'll start to increase that more and more and more. But look, I'm an absolute realist, and I understand that for many people, you might be working 12-hour shifts if you're a shift worker, or you might be going to a special occasion or a wedding or, a formal or something like that, and you've got to wear a dress that's like really close under the armpits and it's a really hot day. And on occasions like that, you may want to use your normal antiperspirant on those special occasions, which is completely understandable. We need to find ways of managing and integrating a natural deodorant into your lifestyle, and that's going to look different for many, many different people. And that is absolutely fine, because what we've got to think about is if we can start lowering our exposure to these toxins and chemicals that can pose risks to our health, long term, that makes a huge, huge difference. So if you were, say, you were using your natural deodorant every second day, you have just like halved your exposure to aluminium by the end of your lifetime, which in turn is going to lower your exposure to these dangerous chemicals that in 10 or 20 years time, scientists could actually start telling us what we have been using has been unsafe. And I'm waiting for that day to happen, and I'm not going to be one of those people that goes, I wish I made that switch. And that's why I've made that switch today, because I'm really trying to focus on lowering my exposure to these dangerous toxins and chemicals that are going to pose risks to my health long term. And if we can start making small changes in our everyday life, they add up to big changes and big shifts, and they are going to make really, really positive or have positive effects on your overall well-being and health. So I hope that that has been super helpful for you. If you would like to get your hands on the doTERRA Balanced Deodorant, please jump onto my website and you can buy directly from me. You can also purchase the doTERRA Spa Clay Mask as well if you would like to use that to help to draw those toxins out from under the arms. So that is it from me. It has been so lovely chatting with you, and I'm sure I'll see you again real soon. Thank you.